Hey guys, as promised, we are now going to be working on a dresser. So we're going to build this from scratch. First thing you need to do is grab your rectangle tool, and we're actually going to be dragging this dresser out from the corner of this room. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and I'm going to make a dresser or a rectangle shape on the floor. Okay, so I have the base of my dresser right now. First thing I want to do is I'm actually going to pull the dresser up out of the floor. So I'm grabbing my push-pull tool and pulling this up to that point. Now, the next thing I need to do is I'm going to make this dresser its own group. So we just did that with the room. Now we need to do that with this physical dresser. So I'm going to go ahead and select all the pieces of the dresser. You can do that just by clicking on your arrow key and then drawing a box around it, and that usually will select everything for you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, make group, just like we did last time. Now you notice when I make it a group, all the little dots that were on there before have now disappeared. And now it's one physical piece. So I have two groups here. I have the dresser and I have the room itself. All right. So I do want to make sure that I do have the dresser selected still, and I'm actually going to now double click, which means I'm going to be selecting this piece of furniture to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and double click. Notice the background changes, so I'm only focused on this piece of furniture right now, which is exactly what I want to do. What I'm going to do now is I need to draw in drawers. So dressers have drawers, and we need to put clothes in those drawers. So I need to draw in the drawers. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to highlight just this side here, so just this edge, and I'm actually going to draw the dresser drawers from this edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and I got all these options. I want to select divide. Now notice when I selected divide, I got segments here. So all these red dots are something called segments. These are where I'm going to draw my dresser lines. So we want to make sure that we have 4 segments, which is what popped up already for me. And if you move up or down, it adjusts the amount of segments you have. So if I move up, I get 2. If I move down, I get 3. But I want to have 4 segments. So I'm going to go ahead and click to verify that's what I want. And then the dots disappear. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to select my line tool, and I'm actually going to physically draw in the lines for this dresser. So I need to find my endpoints. So those are those spaces that I just talked about. The segments, that's exactly what those endpoints are. So let's get a better view here so we can actually draw the dresser better. All right, so I've got my first endpoint. I'm going to draw this all the way across. Oops. My next endpoint. And then my third endpoint. All right. Now I'm kind of seeing I'm having a little discrepancy here as far as this first line goes because my window is in the way. So what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm going to move my dresser out a little bit so I can see exactly what I'm doing. See how this line's a bit darker? That tells me it might not be right. So I'm going to go ahead and select the whole dresser. Maybe. There we go. I'm going to click my move tool. I'm going to make sure I have everything selected. And then I'm going to kind of drag this away from the wall. Yeah, and I was right. See, the line didn't go all the way across. So that might be something you run into, and that's easily fixable. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and double click. I'm going to delete this line. I don't want that there. I'm going to redo that one. So here we go. Now it's all the way across. That's what you want it to look like. All right, so the next step is actually physically drawing in the drawers. We're going to use the offset tool, which we have used before. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and I want to have rectangle drawers within this section here. Okay, and then if I double click all the other ones, you'll get drawers that are the same size. All right. Now comes the fun part. We're going to go ahead and color. So again, my colors look different than yours, so don't panic if this looks different. Just for the sake of letting it stick out, I'm going to use red paint on my drawers so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And I have colored my drawers in. The next step is going to be drawer handles. Not as simple as you think, so I'm actually going to make this in a separate video. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right here, and we will finish up with the drawer handles momentarily.